Good evening, everybody. My name is Adriana Duran, and I'm a cohort 12 student. I'm here to introduce you to a simple activity that addresses pragmatic skills and WH questions. But before we start, I'd like to introduce you to the 4 students that I have asked to join me to do this activity. These 4 students are all over 18 years old, but they will pretend to be teenagers, and that's okay because I've asked them to do this. So, let's start.
Hi, my name is Juan and I'm 13.
My name's Rojo and I'm 10.
It's okay. Go ahead.
My name is Jackie and I'm 13.
My name is Richard and I'm 14.
Okay. So they're a little bit giggly, and that's okay. We'll have some giggles here and there throughout the session. Anyways, before we start, I want to let you know what the materials you'll need to have to do this activity. I like to use bowls, or I like to use cups. Again, clear cups, any kind of cup, anything where they could put in their chip or block. And again, the chips and colored blocks usually will help me and also help the students understand that these are the areas we're working on. For example, today we'll be using yellow to keep track of we'll use yellow, it's okay. Look over here. We'll use the yellow to keep track of the good eye contact, and we'll use the red to keep track of turn-taking skills. And again, I like to reinforce my students if they are doing a good job and they're answering the questions with, good turn-taking skills and good eye contact. I want to reinforce it. Obviously after a couple turns, after 3 turns, and I see that this student is doing really well, he's been looking at me, and he's been taking his turns, then I would like to reinforce and say, you've been doing a good job answering the questions, you've been doing a good job looking at me, and also taking your turn. So I'll give him 2 blocks. And again, the student who has the most blocks at the end of the session usually will get to earn an extra sticker. And now, speaking of the stickers, I have a special treasure chest in my room that I like to keep, that I always show the kids. I don't show them what's inside the treasure chest. I just let them know that they can earn a special prize from the treasure chest. This treasure chest usually contains Pokemon cards, baseball cards, movie theater tickets. And again, these are things that they can earn. And they don't earn it right away. This is something that they have to work for throughout the year. And I also have a sticker chart for them, because towards the end of each session, I'm not only addressing these 2 areas of these 2 goals for pragmatics, I'm also addressing their behavior, because I want them to be able to understand that if they do well in therapy and they're not having any behaviors, that they can be reinforced. But if they do have behaviors, and obviously I've had to talk to them more than once, or I've had to ask them to stay seated, or whatever the case may be, I have to ask them to report that back to class. And again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to address those behavioral needs and also address the goals that we need for them to meet. Okay? So the way I keep track of my data, usually it's all typed up and I have all that information, and it depends on how you like to do it. Everybody's name is on a piece of paper, but for the sticker chart, everybody's name is separately, but I just wanted to give you an example. There's the pragmatics, and the pragmatics is the turn-taking skills and good eye contact. And as we know, the red goes for the turn-taking and the yellow goes for good eye contact. And also answering the simple WH questions. So each one is separated right here. So if I had to address turn-taking skills and eye contact with the students, I will mark an X. Again, the turn-taking and eye contact is separated, EC and TT. And again, I quickly keep track of that data so I can know how many times I did have to talk to that student. Now, if that student needed more than 1 prompt, verbal cue, whatever the case may be, again, he or she will have to address that with me towards the end of the session. And the same goes for the WH questions. Yes, I am interested in them answering all the questions correctly, but most importantly because, I'm working on 2 specific areas, answering simple WH questions and pragmatics. I got to keep track of all the data. And again, pragmatics is an area that most of these students need a lot of help in. And when I mean most of the students on my caseload, because many of the students on my caseload have diagnoses. that require that extra attention. Now I have an iPad, and in this iPad I use the WH questions in my app that I actually purchased for $4. And this app contains I believe it's 5 sets of questions. End game. Start. Yes, it contains 5 sets of questions of 28. So that's really good, because usually one set 28 questions will cost me $13.99 plus, depending on where I order them from. But these are the same questions you can order from Super Duper Inc. There's 4 ways I can introduce this app. I will just use the Dragon Match, and we can assume that the students here know the answers to these questions, or they may not know the answer to the question, depending on how they would like to interact within this activity. Typically, if the child needs a visual, I will present my iPad facing them. But if they don't need a visual, I will turn it around, which I will do right now, and I will present the activity this way. Because I want to get them to the point where they can just answer the question automatically. And that's where I will be right now. I want you to look at these students answering the questions right away. Okay, so we'll start. Who helps people when they're sick? Johnny?
The doctor.
Okay. You need to look at me. I'm going to answer. Who helps people when they're sick?
A doctor.
Who keeps your school clean?
Janitor.
Okay. Who does a groom marry?
Oh, wife.
Right.
Oh, right.
Wait a minute. It's still Jackie's turn. You have to give her some time to answer. Okay. So, Rich, I have to mark that down for you. And, okay. Jackie, who does a groom marry?
Oh, bride.
Okay. Who takes care of sick animals?
Okay.
Okay. Next set of questions. Who checks and cleans teeth, Johnny? Johnny, you need to be looking at me when I'm
The
talking
dentist?
to you. Yes. Who flies a spaceship?
An astronaut.
Mm-hmm. Who plays music at a radio station?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Who plays music at a radio station?
Mm-hmm. Does anybody here know the answer? And remember, you have to raise your hand if you'd like to answer the question. Who plays music at a radio station?
DJ Magic Mike.
DJ Magic Mike. But remember, you have to raise your hand. But yes, thank you for answering that question. Who tells or writes about the news, Rich?
Well, can you repeat the question?
Who tells or writes about the news? You need to be paying attention, remember.
Yeah. New broadcast? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
A reporter?
Yes, Jackie, it was not your turn. You have to let him wait
She helped me.
to answer the question. Now, I know, but she can raise her hand.
No.
Okay, and remember, Rich, we've been working on good eye contact. You should
Sorry
not
about
be
that.
looking down, looking at your cell phone. Remember, no cell phones allowed during speech.
Okay, sorry.
Okay? All right. Okay. Who tells or writes about the news?
Reporter.
Good. Thank you. I like the way you answered that question. Rogelio? Rojo, I'm sorry. I really appreciate what you've been doing. You've been answering the questions. You've been looking at me. You've been taking good turns, and you've been very patient. I really appreciate that. So you're getting 2 blocks. You're getting a block for good eye contact and good turn-taking skills. So far, so good. Thank you, Rojo. Rojo, who makes cakes, pies, and cookies?
A baker.
Mm-hmm. Who types letters and works in an office?
Types letters.
Mm-hmm. And works in an office?
I don't know.
You don't know? Does anybody here know the answer? Can you raise your hand if you know the answer?
Can I get the question again? Repeat it.
Mm-hmm. Who types letters and works in an office?
A journalist?
An administrative assistant. An administrative assistant.
Alright.
Who delivers the mail? Ricardo. Rich, you need to be looking at me. Again, you know, your eye contact. You should not be looking down. You should be looking at me.
What was the question? Delivers the mail?
Who delivers the mail?
Mailman.
Mm-hmm. And what's another name for a mailman?
No carrier.
Jackie, remember, it's Ricardo's turn. Thank you for trying, but you've interrupted quite a few times, Jackie. Okay. Who builds things with wooden nails?
Carpenter?
Yes. Good job. Okay, so what we just did right now is basically answer simple questions. And that was important. If you noticed, I did jot down when the students did not have good turn-taking skills or did not have good eye contact. Also, I did mark down if they didn't answer the questions correctly. However, I did get to also reinforce the students who were doing a good job. For example, Rojo here. If you can look at the bowls, Rojo has two blocks, two colored blocks, obviously because he did exhibit good turn-taking and eye contact. So because he earned the most blocks, he will get to earn the sticker towards the end of the session. So I will look back at their sticker chart, and then I will ask everybody here at the table, and obviously there will be some students with a few blocks, or there will be some students without any blocks. So if they didn't earn any blocks, obviously they required lots of prompts, cues, and assistance to help them through the session. So at this point, what I do is I will ask each student if they did well, if they needed extra help, and what they need to work on the next time they see me. Johnny, did you earn any colored blocks?
No.
So what do you need to work on next time?
Eye contact
Mm-hmm.
and getting my answers right.
That was okay. I mean, you did okay with your answers. So good eye contact and turn-taking skills. Well, obviously I didn't have to really talk to you about turn-taking. You were patience. Okay.
Alright.
Rojo?
Yeah, I think I did good.
Good. So what did you do?
Did good eye contact and
Mhm.
turn taking.
Good. Jackie, did you earn any blocks?
No.
So what do you need to do next time?
Learn how to take turns
Uh-huh.
and eye contact.
Good. Rich, did you earn any blocks?
No.
So what do you need to do next time?
More eye contact?
Yes, you really need to work on that eye contact. When someone speaks to you, you need to look at them.
Yeah.
And that's how you work on pragmatic skills and simple WH questions. The end.